Hello, welcome back to playing almost every extreme sports game ever made. This week, even more snowboarding games, but this time, I think some of these are actually going to be pretty good. This whole project started almost 2 years ago because I wanted to play the amped snowboarding games, and none of them are backwards compatible on the most recent Xbox. You can't emulate them either, and so I ended up having to buy the physical copies of these games and a bunch of other ones, and I borrowed an Xbox 360 from a friend of mine just so that I could I could play them. But anyway, first game on the list today is actually the ESPN Winter X Games Snowboarding from 2000. I remember playing one of these X Games games. I don't remember which one. Both of the covers are very memorable to me, but I guess snowboarder mode? I don't know what that means. Okay, a little stiff. That doesn't look great. I don't know what's going on with the weather here, but I don't know. This is pretty dull, I gotta say. There's really not much going on here. Lounge. What is this? Oh. A lot of weird choices. Oh, all right. Here we go. I don't remember this at all.
3, 2, 1.
Let me do something cool. Maybe not. You have a decent amount of control in the air. It is a little slow. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's definitely clunky, and the speed is kind of all over the place, but occasionally it looks pretty good. Well, that's ESPN Winter X Games Snowboarding. Next game on the list here is SSX from 2000. It's the first one.
Rated E for everyone.
Oh yeah, that's a great drum and bass around this time. So I never really played the SSX games. I don't know, I just wasn't into them at the time. They looked too arcadey or something, but I was talking to my friend Alex about this. He really liked the SSX games, and we had played there's a 2012 one, I think. I thought it would be worth actually going and looking at all the SSX games just because they're obviously a big franchise. I just never really played them. This is the most 2000 UI I've seen in a while. The bevel and boss up there. Whew, sick. Scan lines. Wow. It's all here. Already I feel like I completely missed. I should have been playing these SSX games. I apologize. I am not good at these games. I don't have any muscle memory. This game obviously had a lot of style. Feels great. At the time, was this, 2000, 2001, there were so many snowboarding games, and it was I was into snowboarding at the time, and I was like, oh, I want to play all the realistic stuff, I guess. And this was obviously way more arcadey, kind of more of a racing game. There's always those clips of people doing kick flips and stuff. I don't know how I was thinking I was too cool for this. This is very good. All right, that's a cool game. I should have played SSX a lot more than I did. Amped Freestyle Snowboarding from 2001.
Dag, yo, it's the Amped Guide to Freestyle Snowboarding. Know your mountain, downhill area, freestyle areas. Let's ride! This is about freedom and cool tricks, and doing those cool tricks when the media's around. Just bend, jump, grab, rotate, and land. Then contact an orthopedic surgeon, and you're ready to go. Amped style isn't everything. Just kidding. Rated E for everyone.
Great. Now this is the original Xbox game playing on a 360, and I can't tell if there's some weird frame rate issues or if that's just how it was originally. I think Amped was a real turning point for these snowboarding games, to me at least. It really feels like this was the first time you could kind of go wherever you wanted, and the mountain was pretty big, but for the most part, there's plenty of things to do. I think it still feels pretty good. Definitely still pretty basic, but it didn't really need to be much more than this. Like, this came out, I think, the same year as Cool Wars 2001. Terrible. And this just felt like such a breath of fresh air of like, wow, this feels way more modern. You can go wherever you want. It's not even close in my mind. It's a bummer that this is so hard to play. Or like, on the one end, you had the SSX games, which were what they are, right? Big arcadey, goofy things. And this was like, what could a slightly more realistic take on snowboarding look like? This was right in my strike zone at the time. Obviously, still pretty rough, but really interesting to see. SSX Tricky from 2001. It's gonna be a lot of that song, huh? Can you imagine the people working on this game? They must have hated this song by the time they were done working on this. I think Mac is in all of them. Got the hot dog board. This guy knows what's up. I never really played this when it came out, and I regret it. These games are cool.
Go.
L2 plus square, here we go. Oh, come on. Come on. This is cool. I really slept on these. Can't put it together. I know some people liked SSX Tricky more than SSX 3. I don't really know. They all seem kind of similar to me, but still pretty cool. ESPN Winter X Games Snowboarding 2002. I don't remember any of this, to be honest with you, but up there. I mean, obviously, this is way better than the first ESPN X Games snowboarding game. It feels a lot better than that other one, but it's still kind of weird. Kind of stiff. You get locked into tricks. Yeah, all right. You know, it's pretty good. Kind of clunky, just like the other one, but a little more polished. We got SSX 3 from 2003. Like this. This game's THX certified. All right. I have no skin in this game, but I already think that this is better than Tricky. I mean, this is actually really cool. Still don't really have the hang of these games, but that grab. Wild. This really feels like what they were going for with Tricky, but like more polish. Like they give you, it's a little more generous with if you under rotate or. I'm not good at these games, but this is a lot of fun. Like this looks so good for a PS2 game. I know it's running at a higher resolution emulated or whatever, but. What is going on? This level's nuts. Man, what a cool game. I can't believe I slept on this and never really played these. Amped 2 from 2003.
It's good to compete 8,000 feet up and 8,000 miles apart together. It's good to try a frontside 7 stalefish to improve your roll together. It's good to laugh at gravity together. Amp 2, rated E for everyone. It's good to play together.
Amp 2 is cool. I'm excited. I remember it being a lot more polished than Amped 1, because Amped 1 was a little bare bones. a cool idea, but there wasn't really much there. And I think 2 really kind of expanded on it a lot, even though I think feels pretty similar to the first one. I also hope it runs a lot better. Do they have snow skate in this? They did. Oh, that's cool. 1-footed nose slide. This mountain is way cooler than it was in 1. I mean, this is kind of exactly how I remember this. Like, exactly how it felt. Kind of floaty, but in a fun way. Lots of interesting stuff to hit. And it all feels pretty good. It's solid. Definitely feels better than Amped 1. I'll say that. Kind of arcadey. It's not really trying to be super realistic. Compared to SSX, I guess, at the time. Exactly how I remembered it. Fun to see it again. Pretty cool. Amped 3 from 2005. 3 really leaned into like a bunch of stupid jokes. I think it mostly works. I don't know how well it's going to hold up being almost 20 years old, but you know what? We'll find out. This is why these games don't make it to backwards compatibility. A bunch of real music.
I can't believe you're doing this. You couldn't pay me enough to wear that thing.
Yeah, whatever.
I just want to play this game. I don't care about any of this.
Then quit laying around. We'll meet you after you change.
Yeah, Ron! That was awesome!
I went through kind of a wild phase when I was younger.
Cutscenes suck! That's better now. Now that I think about it, I should have made a roller blade.
How do I skip this? I'm on. It's a menu. What else is there? That was the longest menu tutorial I've ever seen. This is chaotic. Press buttons to do tricks. Thanks. It's still got that amped, I guess, style to it, but like it looks pretty good. I don't know what it is that is just not super compelling right now. I guess the worst thing I could say about it is it seems fine. I don't know. Like I'm obviously not here for whatever whatever the story is. It's kind of hard to go back to. I think now that I've played all these amped games again, you know, they are honestly exactly how I remember them. It's fine. It's interesting to go back and look at the amped games just because they're kind of exactly how I remember them to be, but it doesn't really mean I want to go just play them again that much. Or the SSX games, a lot cooler than I remembered them being. And I would probably go play SSX 3 again just because super interesting. The 2012 SSX game I played a bunch of, and that was also kind of its time as like a very gritty Xbox 360 game. But next time I might just play a bunch of very random games that have snowboarding or skateboarding things, or they're kind of related. Just a bunch of weird stuff that I don't think I've ever seen before. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.